the 5'11", 232-pound Earl Campbell was a remarkably fast starter.
As a matter of fact, he ran over one or two of you guys in the process.
The world of Earl Campbell, the man who changed the game and made every defender think twice before stepping in his path. Known as the Tyler Rose, Earl Campbell is a name that strikes fear into the hearts of anyone who ever had to tackle him. But what makes Campbell so legendary? Let's dive into the life and career of this NFL powerhouse and find out. Born on March 29, 1955, in Tyler, Texas, Earl Campbell was the son of Burt Campbell, a man who worked tirelessly to support his large family of 11 children. Burt's day started in the rose fields with his kids, and after sunset, he worked at Kmart. Life was tough, but it was this struggle that shaped Earl's indomitable spirit. Tragedy struck early when Earl was just 11 years old, and his father passed away from a heart attack. This loss was devastating, but it also marked the beginning of Earl's football journey. Initially, Earl took up kicking, but it wasn't long before he saw a new path. Inspired by the legendary linebacker Dick Butkus, Earl decided to pivot and become a linebacker himself. Earl's shift from linebacker to running back was nothing short of dramatic. When he first started out as a running back at John Tyler High School, he struggled. Picture this, a young Earl Campbell fumbling the ball, trying to find his rhythm in a position he wasn't used to. It was a rough start, and it would have been easy to give up. But Campbell wasn't one to back down from a challenge. His linebacker mentality, tough, aggressive, and fearless, began to shine through. As Earl's skills developed, he became a force to be reckoned with. His final year in high school was a showcase of raw power and unyielding determination. Campbell dominated the field, amassing 236 rushing yards, 225 total yards per game, and an astounding 29 touchdowns. Under his leadership, John Tyler High School went 15-0 and clinched their first state title in 43 years. In the finals, Campbell bulldozed two defenders to score the game-winning touchdown, a moment that marked the rise of a new football legend. Earl Campbell's transition from high school prodigy to NFL star was just as explosive. When he entered the NFL, he was already a force to be reckoned with. At 230 pounds and with 36-inch thighs, Campbell was a wrecking ball on the field. Opponents quickly realized that the term business decision was coined for situations like trying to tackle Earl Campbell. You had to get him before he got going, because once he did, he was like a truck barreling down the field. Campbell's rookie season was nothing short of spectacular. He didn't just play, he dominated. He was named the NFL Offensive Player of the Year 3 consecutive times, a feat that no other player in history has matched. By his second NFL season, he had already won the MVP award. Campbell's combination of power, speed, and sheer will made him the greatest power back the NFL has ever seen. Earl Campbell's legacy is etched in the annals of football history. His impact on the game was profound, and his influence continues to be felt. He was a player who didn't just break tackles, he shattered them. He didn't just push through defenses, he bulldozed them. In a league full of remarkable players, Earl Campbell stands out as a true powerhouse. His story is one of resilience, determination, and raw talent. From his tough upbringing in Tyler, Texas, to his legendary NFL career, Earl Campbell's journey is a testament to what happens when talent meets unyielding grit. As he tore his way to the end zone, the national buzz around him grew. Named Mr. Football USA of 1973, Campbell was so physically dominant that coaches were already speculating about his potential to go pro straight out of high school. Former Oklahoma head coach Barry Switzer famously claimed Campbell was the only player he ever saw who could have jumped straight from high school to the NFL and made an immediate impact. And let me tell you, Switzer's words were not just hype. Campbell's college career was nothing short of legendary. Campbell had options aplenty. Houston, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Baylor were all vying for his talents. But in a twist that only added to his mythos, the Tyler Rose chose the University of Texas, and that's where the legend of the human wrecking ball truly began. From 1974 to 1977, Campbell's time at Texas was arguably the most electrifying era in Longhorn history. Imagine this. Campbell arrived on campus with all of his belongings in a single grocery bag. But he wasn't just carrying clothes, he was packing raw talent and a drive to dominate. As a freshman, Campbell was already making waves. He rushed for 928 yards and 6 touchdowns, earning the Southwest Conference Newcomer of the Year award. But that was just the start. In his sophomore year, Campbell not only led the Longhorns to an impressive 11-2 record, but also cemented his place among the best backs in the nation. He rushed for 1,118 yards and 13 touchdowns, snagging All-American honors along the way. Even though Campbell battled hamstring injuries during his junior season, he still managed to churn out nearly 100 yards per game, but it was his senior year that truly showcased his extraordinary abilities. Earl Campbell was a man among boys, a force of nature on the field. In one unforgettable moment, he didn't just run into Texas mascot Bevo, he knocked him flat. That's the kind of power and dominance Campbell brought to every game. His senior season was nothing short of spectacular. Campbell led the nation in rushing yards with 1,744 and rushing touchdowns with 18. He guided Texas to an undefeated regular season and clinched the Heisman Trophy, the first in the school's history. By the time he left Texas, Campbell had amassed 4,571 total yards and 41 touchdowns, a record that still resonates in college football lore. Imagine this. You throw your entire defense at Earl Campbell, and he just barrels through them like they're not even there. That's the kind of impact Campbell had on the game. When asked about his running style, Campbell was refreshingly honest. He said, "My running style was just kind of head-on, because I couldn't dance. I couldn't put a move on. I had two things I could do. I could run over you, and I could put a good stiff arm on you. That was about it." But here's the kicker. This no-nonsense, straight-ahead approach struck terror into the hearts of defenders across the league. The Houston Oilers, fully aware of Campbell's fearsome reputation, weren't about to let him slip through their fingers. They made him the first overall pick in the 1978 NFL Draft, and they knew they had something special on their hands. In fact, even the Oilers' equipment manager was taken aback by Campbell's sheer size. He joked, "We make 4 sizes of thigh pads, small, medium, large, and Earl Campbell." That's how colossal Campbell was, and he wasted no time proving it. From his very first play in the NFL, Campbell made an unforgettable impression. He took a screen pass 73 yards for a touchdown, announcing to the league that the human wrecking ball had officially arrived. But this was just the beginning. Campbell's rookie season was nothing short of a tour de force. He didn't just break records, he bulldozed his way through them. Campbell was often described as having train-like power and compared to a rhinoceros with a foot on a Coke machine. This was not just hyperbole, it was a glimpse into the raw force that Campbell brought to the field. His rookie year was a record-breaking extravaganza. He led the league with 1,150 rushing yards, setting a rookie record at the time. He also finished second in rushing touchdowns with 13, and the accolades poured in. Campbell was named Offensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and earned spots in the Pro Bowl and First-Team All-Pro, and it didn't stop there. In the playoffs, the Oilers leaned heavily on their star runner as they advanced to the AFC Championship game, further proving Campbell's extraordinary impact on the game. Under Campbell's lead, the Oilers finished with an impressive 11-5 record. He dominated the league, leading in both rushing yards with 1,697 and rushing touchdowns with 19. And, as if that wasn't enough, he snagged even more awards than the previous year. Campbell was named Offensive Player of the Year, made the Pro Bowl, and earned First-Team All-Pro honors once again. But here's the kicker. He also won NFL MVP, becoming the first Oiler ever to snag that prestigious title. Unfortunately, the Oilers' playoff run was cut short by the Steel Curtain Steelers, who once again sent them packing in the AFC Championship. Even in defeat, Campbell's presence was undeniable. Legendary Steeler Joe Green claimed Campbell could inflict more damage than any other running back he'd ever faced. High praise indeed. So, when you think of the most dominant running backs in NFL history, remember Earl Campbell. His story is not just about the stats and awards, it's about a player who transformed the game and set a new standard for greatness. Campbell wasn't just a star, he was a phenomenon, and his legacy continues to shine bright in the annals of football history. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, press the subscribe button, and also drop your thoughts in the comment section.